Greetings, dear friends, and welcome once more. Your presence is most appreciated. For today we present yet another captivating tale to share. Pray let us commence, for it is I, Lucas, who shall impart the tale of my hard-won wisdom, that the one whom thou dost cherish may oft overlook thy worth until the sands of time have slipped through the hourglass, leaving naught but regret in their wake. In the bloom of our youthful years, I chanced upon Sophie. In days of yore, I recall a bond so profound, a union that others oft deemed fated, as if the stars themselves conspired to weave our hearts as one. Our affection flowed with ease, as we traversed the night in our chariot, engaging in fervent discourse, two souls entwined in a dance of discovery. Our union seemed most fitting as we harbored grand aspirations, journeys afar, cohabitation, perchance the joy of offspring. For a time, all was well in our realm. Yet, as fate would have it, the endeavor of crafting my enterprise from naught demanded countless hours and the relinquishment of comforts. Sophie remained my utmost concern, regardless of the demands upon my time. I did delight her with unexpected gestures, shared evenings of merriment, or engaged in discourse after a day of toil. I ever did convey unto her that she held significance in this world. In the beginning, she found delight in it. She didst offer her encouragement and became my most ardent supporter. Yet in time she did transform little by little. It began with minor grievances regarding a desire for solitude and the necessity to turn her attention inward. Verily I did support that. Each soul doth require space to flourish and expand. Yet in an instant it transformed. She did engage in discourse regarding the elevation of her own needs above all else. I did surmise that her intent was to embrace the art of self-nurture, engaging in pursuits such as physical exertion, delving into literature, and partaking in endeavors that brought her joy. Her purpose was not of that nature. Disregarding the sanctity of our union, she intended to pursue her desires unimpeded. She hath surrendered. Her heart was not swayed by our earnest designs. She did but little to inquire after the happenings of my day. She did persist in her desire for me to regard her as the paramount figure in all existence. She sought the benefits of union whilst evading the bonds of matrimony. In the beginning, I perceived it merely as a challenging moment. In every union, there doth exist a tapestry woven with both joy and sorrow, is it not so? Thus, I acted as any devoted spouse might. Toiled with greater fervor. I did shun discord at every turn. Before unleashing my thoughts, I strived to engage in discourse upon the matter. Yet, should it rise to greater heights, I shall endure it in silence rather than engage in dispute. With great delight, I did present her with blossoms, a fragrant essence, and that lavish satchel she had long desired, a treasure of her heart's yearning. All that I might do to prove my affection and presence unto her. Yet naught did alter. She expressed her gratitude now and then, yet her heart remained untouched. There is a distinct lack of fervor. No gratitude bestowed. A mere flicker of a smile, fleeting as the wind, ere one departs upon their way. Oftentimes it is her device that doth ring. I did overhear her utterance, expressing a desire for space to discover her true essence. It was first met with nary a doubt. Perchance she doth ponder the matters at hand. Upon reflection I pondered. Thus, I granted her the chamber she did beseech. I ceased to draw her closer. I granted her further evenings of revelry and permitted her to pursue her desires. Yet, as the months do pass, no solace is found. She did wax ever more self-absorbed, as if she were the protagonist of a grand tale, whilst I, alas, played but a humble role, destined to serve her whims. To feign her worth, she acted as though she merited a higher station and was merely acquiescing to my presence. Verily that did wound my spirit. The lady whom my heart did choose did oft retreat, believing she might find a worthier suitor. To cherish one who holds thee in little regard doth weave a tapestry of confusion within the heart. Thou dost question thine own worth, pondering if their words bear truth. Thou mayhap art not of sufficient merit. Perchance thou art the root of the matter. For countless nights, I gazed upon the ceiling, pondering the nature of that which had shifted. What wrong have I done? When the truth revealed itself within my soul, I ceased to be sufficient for her. Though my heart was filled with affection for her, I found myself powerless against her obstinacy. Uncertainty loomed over the duration of my deceit. Then, upon a fateful eve, all was transformed. For hours I did bide, mine eyes fixed upon the clock, whilst the sounds of the world beyond my window did fill the air. Sophie had oft returned home in the late hours of the night. Yet this eve bore a distinct air. Upon the sound of the door's creak, I drew in a breath to steady my nerves. Loath to engage in further dispute, I found myself weary and disinclined to contend anew. With a misstep, she did make her entrance. The scent of spirits assailed my senses ere I cast mine eyes upon her. With a flourish, she cast her suitcase upon the couch, and with nary a glance in my direction, she liberated her feet from the confines of her shoes. Sophie, dost thou comprehend the actions thou art undertaking? I did stifle my ire, not merely returning home in the late hour. Thou dost cast me aside, though I have shown forbearance, yet thy conduct belies the bonds of matrimony. She did roll her eyes as if confronted with the most ludicrous of spectacles. She did smile with a languid grace and let forth a soft, merry laugh. Pray, I beseech thee. She did scoff. Dost thou believe I am in want of thy presence? Art thou indeed so remarkable? Many suitors doth seek my favor. If thou dost depart, I shall find thy replacement on the morrow. A heaviness seized my breast, yet I concealed it well. She did persist. She didst straighten her form. I have resolved to cease adhering to thy dictates. No longer shall I abide by the dictates of others. Thou and the world shall not dictate the course of my existence. This is the season of my cherished daughter. Good morrow, Lucas. Embrace it or cast it aside, for the choice lies within thy grasp. Thus concludes the tale. In that moment, enlightenment dawned upon me. She hath departed from my grasp. Perchance she hath forsaken me. I did not engage in dispute. I did not raise my voice. I did not beseech her to comprehend. What dost thou seek to ascertain? She was well aware of the person she aspired to become. She is not the lady I wed. Thus did I undertake the final deed. I shall permit her to pursue her own path and take my leave. Upon the break of dawn, I sought out and summoned the most esteemed advocate for dissolution of unions in the realm. I had no desire to extend or entangle her life further. A canvas untouched was all I desired. The wheels of justice turned with great haste. As we were devoid of offspring and I wished to avoid disputes concerning possessions or financial matters, we did make haste to reach an accord. I held no regard for equity. I yearned for escape. I did forego the concluding assembly. Thus, I entrusted mine attorney with the entirety of the matter. Upon affixing my signature to the parchments, I did honor my vow. I didst disappear. No summons. No text. Steer clear of lengthy and impassioned missives. Lass, departed. At the outset, she bore no weight of worry. She appeared to be unburdened. She held fast to the notion that this was her moment to embark anew and embrace liberation. Upon mine eyes did fall whispers upon the tapestry of social discourse. Visions of her reveling in merriment with companions. Text partaking in revelry and mirth as a true victor would. Her inscriptions spoke of fresh starts and the value of one's own essence. She doth appear to have advanced forthwith, without a moment's reflection. Immediately, she embarked upon the pursuit of romance once more. Indeed, it is so. A multitude of suitors sought to amuse her. Now the circumstances have shifted. She was not the treasure she had envisioned. She did capture the gaze of many, yet not the form she desired. The gallant suitors pursuing her sought merriment, not a vow nor a pledge. Who among us was prepared for matters of great import? These fellows did not align with her preferences, though I did not behold it. Verily I have heard. She swiftly sought the company of other suitors, perpetually apart like fleeting shadows. One by one they took their leave. The regard she once sought hath turned to naught. The assurance she once bore began to wane and falter. Alas, it was the maiden's inaugural venture into solitude, neither by volition nor for the quest of one's own essence. Yet, forsooth, she did spurn her one and only true affection. How might I have discerned? Recall how our mutual acquaintances continued to converse with her. What of me? Forward I tread, with nary a glance to the past. Mine own separation hath bequeathed unto me a choice most weighty. Another union might have been sought to mend the void within my heart. Ephemeral entanglements, fleeting diversions, and transient joys might have led me to despair. Yet I was aware that such was not the solution nor that which I truly sought. Forsooth, I found myself ensnared in a union concealed from mine own heart for an age uncounted. Now is the hour to choose me. Thus did I. I devoted my energies to the restoration of my enterprise. I devoted my efforts to fortifying and nurturing the foundation I had established. It is no longer mere toil. It revealed unto me that I possessed the capacity and a calling that transcended the role of a mere husband. Results did arrive, yet with a languid pace. My enterprise hath flourished beyond mine own anticipations. Once more I found myself the master of my own fate, a feeling long lost to the sands of time. In the midst of my endeavors, I devoted my thoughts to the nurturing of both my corporeal and emotional well-being. To regain my strength and vigor, I ventured forth to the gymnasium. Upon embarking on a journey of self-improvement, I have embraced a more wholesome diet, sought the solace of restful slumber, and tended to my well-being after a prolonged period of disregard. It hath come to my understanding that certain souls may ne'er grasp the value of thy benevolence. I didst decline to embrace aught but that which holds significance. I resolved not to allow the spectre of solitude to drive me back to the comforts of the known, or to seek out bonds that would prove detrimental. I have discovered the art of solitude, free from the pangs of isolation. My solace in mine own company was a journey of many a day. Mine ascent was slow and steady. That was my grandest triumph. Years had passed since last I beheld Sophie. Whilst I was engaged in the pursuit of errands, gathering various items from a grand emporium, the unforeseen event did occur. Upon rounding a bend, I beheld her presence. Sophie lingered a few paces hence, clutching a shopping bag, her gaze fixed upon me as though I were a spectre from the beyond. Lo, I scarcely did discern her visage. She appeared most exquisite. Her visage was ever preserved. Her eyes did traverse my form. Lucas, thou art a name of noble sound. At last, she did utter a sound, yet her voice trembled with doubt, as she inclined her head in agreement. Mine countenance did brighten with a smile. Greetings, fair Sophie. Oh, how the ages have passed. She didst laugh with a nervous air, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear with a delicate motion. Thou dost appear altered. I did but shrug. Indeed, life doth shine with favor. She inquired with a curious mind, seeking to sustain the flow of discourse. How dost thou fare? What dost thou engage in? I responded with a playful spirit, bestowing upon her naught but a modicum. I was not unkind, yet I did not bring her contentment. I possessed no understanding of her musings. She did smile, though with a hint of hesitation, after a handful of fleeting exchanges. Pray might we convene? I did return a smile full of mirth. Indeed, perchance, that chapter of my existence hath drawn to a close. Thus I was certain we would not. In the days that followed that fateful occurrence, she extended her hand. Verily a humble greeting. 'Twas a pleasure to behold thee the other day, didst commence the discourse. Mine fingers did linger o'er the keys, as I took a moment's respite. I acted contrary to my wiser inclinations. The discourse began to flourish with increasing fervor. Brief discourse, nothing profound or heartfelt. Longing doth fill the chasms of ire and bitterness. In the weeks that followed, we did exchange messages on occasion. Her peculiar missives did conjure thoughts of my essence. Though all else may conspire against me, I cannot refute the truth that lies before me. The sentiments endured. To love a soul is not a fleeting affair, For such affection doth not vanish with the setting sun. I came to understand that affection alone could not suffice. The trust, alas, had vanished. She did propose that we convene for a repast and engage in discourse one eve. A fragment of my soul yearned to acquiesce, speak with sincerity. Though the allure beckoned, I paused and posed to myself a query I had long evaded. What dost thou seek to ascertain? For what purpose did I embark upon this quest? Pray, dost thou seek to offer an expression of regret? Pray, dost thou seek clarification? Is there a possibility to mend that which is beyond repair? In the depths of my soul I was aware of it. I sought not the balm of closure from her. To bestow upon myself was of utmost necessity. Thus I did refuse. Neither vexed nor wrathful. That notion doth not please me. Many a moon did wane before I came to grasp the truth of mine own shattered spirit. I was loath to embrace such a fate. Yet, the wounds inflicted by Sophie ran deeper than I had ever perceived. Not solely for her departure, but for the emotions she stirred within me ere she left. Unfit for honor, interchangeable, as if I were ever deemed insufficient. In the beginning I believed all was well with me. I toiled with vigor, devoted my mind to the enterprise, and forged bonds of camaraderie. No matter how fervently I endeavored to cast it aside, this burden upon my heart would not depart. Should I neglect this matter, it would surely seep into the very fabric of my existence. Thus, I embarked upon an unforeseen endeavor. I did consult with a healer of the mind. At the outset it did seem most peculiar. There I sat, unearthing the secrets I had long concealed, sharing them with a stranger who listened intently. With each passing week, my vision grew ever more lucid. Mine affection for Sophie was not born of folly. In preserving the bond of my union, I did not display frailty. I was a soul who cherished the unworthy heart. Verily, the blame doth not rest upon mine shoulders. A lesson most requisite for my understanding. Time, like a gentle balm, was required for the wounds to mend. To feel unshackled in an instant was not the essence of the matter. Petty instances held great significance. Sophie and I have set ablaze every path behind us. Cease thy correspondence forthwith. Cast aside trivial discourse. Let there be no more musings of what might have been. Thus I hath brought my connection with her to a close. With a final missive dispatched, I took my leave and erased her digits from my memory. Not insane, not filled with malice. The verity, I extend to thee my sincerest wishes for thy well-being. In days of yore, I believed that one could only find solace from a wounded heart through the sweet taste of retribution. To reveal the absence of a cherished possession, I came to a profound realization upon my journey. Vengeance doth squander the vigor of the soul. The finest recompense doth not always take the form of retribution. Proceed forthwith, strive for excellence, and allow them to behold thy journey. Verily I have accomplished that, dear companions. The tale of today doth reach its final chapter. Pray share thine thoughts with me. Hast thou ever found thyself in such a predicament? Pray how didst thou manage it? If this hath pleased thee, prithee bestow thy like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more tales of life's true essence.